Good morning, it's 10:01 a.m. on Monday, September 11th, 2023. Call this meeting of Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. If everyone would please stand, Commissioner Mahler is going to give our invitation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today fully aware that you tell us to pray for what we need and what we desire. But when that's delivered, we should also come to you with the glory and the thanks. And the rain and the cooler weather is such a blessing from you this morning, and we acknowledge that and we thank you for that. Lord, it's September the 11th, a date that terrible things happened in our country. Innocent people died. Evil overtook good. And Lord, we just ask that you would touch our hearts and use this day to remember that good must overcome evil, and it can overcome evil just as you taught us when you were on earth. Lord, we just ask you to go with this court today. We have many big decisions to make, and let us do the things that would be pleasing in your sight. We thank you for this county family and the job that everybody does to keep business running here in Wichita County. We have a lot of people that work very hard, and thank you for the blessing of having those people in our midst. Lord, we just ask that you bless us and keep us, and in the victory, we'll give you the glory. These things we ask in the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's pledge the U.S. flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, everyone may be seated. This time I will ask Nathan Craig to come up, along with Kirk Wolf, for the presentation of the Employee of the Month Award for August. They're right here. So, as I said, Nathan is the Wichita County Employee of the Month for August 2023. As we normally do, I'm just going to ask Kirk to say a few words about Nathan's job and why he's getting this award.
Well, thank you, Judge Johnson. I also want to recognize Nathan's wife, Sheridan, who is also here, and Tyler Tackett, Deputy Chief of Court Services, who's Nathan's immediate supervisor over at Juvenile Probation. And it's always difficult for me to decide who's going to be Employee of the Month because we have a lot of outstanding employees, over at the JPD. And Nathan is certainly well deserved. And Nathan started 5 years ago. Actually, I have your 5-year certificate as well. Started 5 years ago, and he started in juvenile detention, and then he became a JPO and worked in our compliance unit, which is the probation officers that work the late night hours and go knock on the doors and run the electronic monitoring program. He did that for a significant period of time, and then moved into case management at the downtown office as a juvenile probation officer, and he is a JPO 4, which is our highest degree level of JPOs within our department. And so having all that background, and what the deciding factor was in naming Nathan Employees of the Month, without going into a lot of detail, is he had a really difficult case, and we were receiving a lot of pushback from the family on this case, and so were other people related to working with the probation department. And it was very tense, very difficult, and that went on for a while. Things resolved itself as they usually do within the normal course of action and the things that we do. And after the case was over, we get an email from the child's parent who was nothing but complimentary about Nathan, and in fact said that her child wanted to emulate Nathan and dress like him, because he is a snappy dresser. I even started growing some facial hair. But anyway, it was quite a compliment to receive that from this parent, that after all the stress and problems that went along the way, the end result was a good result, and the parents stated that their child wanted to dress like him, wanted to be a juvenile probation officer. And so what a great compliment. So that was the deciding factor in Nathan being selected Employee of the Month. And so I've got this for your 5-year award as well as your Employee of the Month. And congratulations.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add is that I do have the opportunity to work a little more with juvenile than some of the other departments because I do juvenile detention hearings. And the level of professionalism, the seriousness that y'all take, that you approach the job with, I always appreciate. And so I say that because the fact that you're better than everybody else this month is really something. So again, we thank all of y'all for what y'all do, Kirk, and your entire department. But Nathan, thank you and congratulations.
We appreciate the court support as well. Thank you all very much.
Would anyone else like to say anything? Then Nancy will take a picture.
Got that bright light behind you
Yeah.
now.
Oh, well, we can
If you wanted to scoot around to the table.
come around to there. Melvin wants to be in the picture too.
No.
Who all needs to be in?
I can move.
Yeah, you
I just
can.
follow
Here,
instructions.
Yeah,
Sounds like
let's
that.
get you up there.
I'm a short guy.
Robert?
Yeah.
Boy, Kurt, one thing about it, that is a true success story.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Thank you.
Very fun.
Congratulations again.
We're gonna exit too, if you don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, if he hangs around a little longer, his facial hair will be great.
This court appreciates the great facial hair. There's nothing wrong with it.
Thanks.
All right. This time, let's open up for public comments. As a reminder, we ask that you keep comments limited to 5 minutes or less. The court cannot take action on items brought up during public comment. It is 10:08 for public comments.
Judge, I'd just like to mention that we have an upcoming tail end sale on Purple Wave, September the 21st, I believe. Catching a few items that didn't make it into the original sale just because we were waiting on titles or cleanup. There's going to be a few trucks in there and just some miscellaneous items that didn't sell last time, so I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention to keep an eye out if they're interested in such a thing.
And so getting part of that yet on this Purple Wave stuff, or is that still coming?
No, not yet.
Okay. Any other public comment? Anyone on Zoom? Okay. It's 10:09, and public comment is closed. That means at this time, let's move to the consent agenda. I need to make 2 changes to language in consent agenda. So item number 2 says motion to approve Grupo quote ES 301154 in the amount of $3,417.12 for the purchase of, it says code base, it should say for the purchase of LVT tile to replace carpeting. And then item number 3 in the consent agenda, right now it says that it is a motion to approve proposal for carpet flooring. That should say for floor tile instead of carpet flooring. And those are the only changes, or items I needed to add.
And Judge, what is a pass hopper drawer or,
It's like a teller drawer.
that thing open to the outside and bring
Yeah,
it
so
back
I've
into
got
the service
bulletproof
building?
glass and they need a way to pass information in from visitation.
Gotcha.
Motion approved consent agenda.
Second.
All right, and a motion for Commissioner Kincannon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, to approve the consent agenda as amended. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or any of the items? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. General business item number 1, review and approve the regular bills for payment. Order county treasurer to disperse payroll and bill payments within 72 hours via U.S. mail, FedEx, UPS, or electronically unless directed otherwise, or may be picked up and ledgered in the treasurer's office.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Kincannon. Do we have any public comment or questions on the motion or the item itself? All right, motion's before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, discuss, consider, and/or take action to rescind Court Order 23.0828.529 to allow County Judge Johnson to abstain from any discussion, vote, or decision involving the Electra Hospital District. So I'm just going to talk for just a second on 2 and 3 are sort of related. So I have a relative who works for the Electra Hospital District and receives greater than 10% of her gross annual income from Electra Hospital District, which means that I need to abstain from discussion and voting on anything related to the Electra Hospital District. I've talked with Melvin, and while the previous vote that we did to award the $500,000, my participation didn't jeopardize that decision, but I felt that for transparency, it was best to bring that up, rescind that original order, and then re-vote on it today.
Okay.
So that's what item 2, that's why item 2 is here, and that's why 3 will be bringing it back up.
Okay, now I'll make that motion, Judge.
Second.
Anyone have any questions on that? Okay, so the motion's been made by Commissioner Watts to rescind, seconded by Commissioner Buchanan. Do we have any public comment or questions on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I will abstain, so by 4-0 with 1 abstention, the motion carries. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and/or take action to award the Electra Hospital District $500,000 from lost revenue funds to expand medical services in Iowa Park and to authorize the county judge to sign agreement.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion to award by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Beecham. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
With 4 ayes and 1 abstention by me, the motion carries. Item number 4, open and take action as necessary on road materials bids for emulsions.
First one, Judge, is from Ergon, our current vendor.
All right, as Commissioner Watts said, this one is from Ergon. All right, now we'll read these off. So for CMS 1PC, origin price is $3.76, and then delivered price for all venues within Wichita County is $3.80. For CHFRS-2P, it's $3.06 at the origin and $3.10 within the county. For CRS-2, it's $2.66 for origin, $2.70 across the county. For CRS-2 Plus, it's $2.81 origin and $2.85 for within the county. One thing there, this bid is not subject to price escalation. I checked the no box there. Can you read what that says?
I think that's pumps,
Okay.
pump charge.
So there's a pump charge of $100.
That's it.
Let's see. Minimum freight is 48,000 pounds, and
It's a slight increase, but not drastic. 6 cents from where we were at on just the regular.
Well, that covers the material that we're wanting.
The new materials.
Yes. And this one, Judge, is from Wright.
Asphalt products, yep. So they made no bid, thank you. They made no bid on CMS 1PC. For CHFRS 2P, the origin price is $3.35, and delivered within the county, it's $3.677. For CRS 2, it's $3.05 at origin and $3.377, and then there was no bid on CRS 2 Plus. They also checked no on the bid being subject to price escalation. The pump fee is $100 per truckload. And that was Wright Asphalt
And
Products.
Judge, I'd like to move forward with this because we're in the process of needing to chip seal
Go ahead and make a motion
to
They're not
accept.
close.
They're not even close. Ergon as our primary vendor
Second.
And Wright is a secondary.
and Wright as secondary.
Did y'all want to look at the sheets themselves? For any reason? Okay. So we've got a motion by Commissioner Watts and seconded by Commissioner Kincannon to make Ergon Asphalt the primary and Wright Asphalt Products secondary. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 5, discuss, consider, and/or take action to adopt the Wichita County 2024 budget. So don't worry, I won't go through for the third time, the full song and dance, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. So just at the top level, this budget, as it's revised and as everyone has seen, would come in at $94.049 million, which is down over $4 million from the 2023 budget. Just as a standpoint, since a budget is in a lot of ways a priorities document for the county, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. The biggest increase in the budget year over year is in roads and bridge, which is due mainly to inflation in materials, inflation in equipment costs, and I know a couple of commissioners are going to do some projects that have been long out there and are going to be a pretty significant item. But have been,
Those projects are not being specifically taxed for out of this budget.
correct.
They're coming out of.
They're coming out of fund balance, but they do show up in the
Right.
budget. Our second biggest increase is in the judicial category, which is mainly due to attorneys' salaries and costs going up. And then our third area of increase, percentage-wise, is public safety, which also makes intuitive sense when you figure the inflation costs, the jail, and for inflation and staffing, and to recruit and retain jailers and law enforcement. Nearly a third of the budget, $29 billion, is being spent to fund law enforcement or jail and other areas of public safety. Let's see. This budget also includes salary increases of 3% for most employees making less than $53,000 and 2% for those making more than $53,000. It's $4.8 million to cover debt obligations. Nearly all of that's related to the law enforcement center that was approved by voters in 2017. This number is down 14% from the 2023 budget, as we've had other debt roll off. In this budget, it includes $13.6 million to finish ongoing construction and renovation projects at the courthouse, annex, and outlying facilities, as well as ongoing maintenance needs like HVAC replacement. It also includes $13.2 million to fund health and welfare, and of that number, that includes nearly $4.5 million to expand water infrastructure, that's the ARPA project, and then $2 million to fund the mandated requirements for indigent health care. And then I've already talked about the roads and bridges number coming in at $7.5 million. We've all been through, I counted, 36 departmental meetings that were posted and open to the public, 2 workshops in Commissioner's Court, posted and open to the public, 1 public hearing, obviously posted and open to the public, and then today, y'all have heard me talk about the budget enough, I think. I'll be happy to answer questions.
Judge, I'd like to comment that when I look at tax report on counties and their populations and their size budgets. I just wanted to comment that, you know, the average, when I look at any county over the population of 100,000 up to 167,000, that average budget is 93.4 million. And so I think we're well in line at where we should be. We hit the little over middle of that pack, so I think it's a very good place for us to be.
And it's going to be interesting to see as ARPA money continues to be spent and won't appear in future budgets moving, that number is going to go down significantly.
Sure, that's what drives that number a lot.
So,
So I'll make the motion that we move forward with the adoption of the Wichita County 2024 budget.
I'll second that, but I did submit some simple changes in
thank you.
position.
Yeah, no salary changes, they were title changes,
Title
correct?
changes in some positions, correct.
And that was in building maintenance and in your precinct?
one.
There was one other thing I wanted to mention, if I can find Cheryl's email.
Just,
Do you have the one that, the changes that were made that you sent?
On health insurance. Let's see. Health insurance decreased from the August 15th proposed budget to today's budget. Went down from $900 per month per employee to $840. That's roughly $364,000 in savings. Jury fund, I was able to increase their revenues with some clarification out of House Bill 3474. They are in fact going to supplement day one, which has not been done prior. Day one services used to be $6, it's moving to $20. They're going to supplement that $14 to make it budget neutral, so I was able to increase that up. Day two went from $34 a day, $40 a day to $52 or something, so, and they're gonna supplement that, so.
And this does include, as we discussed on Thursday night, the the penny reduction from the proposed rate,
Yes.
which we'll talk about in the next items. But then also the permanent improvement transfer not occurring out
Right.
of
Yes,
the
so that
general
was
fund.
removed.
All right, so thank you, Cheryl. We've got the motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Beecham to adopt the Wichita County 2024 budget. Motion is before us. Actually, do we have any questions or comment on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 6, discuss, consider, and/or take action to set the 2024 budget debt service, INS rate, at .048988.
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any questions or comments on the motion by Commissioner Watts and seconded by Commissioner Buchanan, or the item itself?
We only have one more payment in 2024, and then it will strictly be
That's
bond
correct.
indebtedness.
Yes.
So that's good.
Just to mention, Judge, that rate at .048 is down from .062. So anyway, just that,
That's good.
Yeah.
All the debt that has been completely paid off this year.
moving in the right direction.
Yep. All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. Item number 7, discuss, consider, and/or take action to set the road and bridge tax rate at .033037 cents.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Buchanan. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 8, discuss, consider, and/or take action to set the maintenance and operation, M&O rate at the proposed rate of .460395 for the constitutional funds and .033037 for the special R&B tax for a total of .493432, or is changed. Remember having a discussion, there is no need for us to have the R&B tax language in there a second time, is there? Okay. I'm going to suggest that so it's easy for public to understand and for us
For
when
the
we go
M&O
back
only.
to have it just the M&O rate.
Well, I'll make the motion that we accept the maintenance and operation rate of, the proposed rate of .460395 to make the constitutional funds.
Second.
All right, motion has been made by Commissioner Watts and seconded by Commissioner Kincannon to set the rate at .460395 for the constitutional funds for M&O. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? Okay, motion's before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Number 9, discuss, consider, and/or take action to set the tax rate. The motion as follows. Quote, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of the tax rate of .542420, which is effectively a 5.79% increase in the tax rate, unquote. This tax rate will raise more taxes for maintenance and operations than last year's tax rate. The tax rate will effectively be raised by 6.55% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $36.14. Just as a reminder to everyone, all 3 of these bullet points are required in state statute, and these all do comply with those requirements.
And Judge, I'll make that motion.
Are we raising the tax rate or raising the revenue rate? Raising the amount of
The
revenue.
bottom one, Mark, deals with the rate, though.
Yeah, well, the
Yes, so
first
the-
bullet point says, I move that the property tax rate be increased, which is not,
So tax code 2605B requires it to say if you're going above the no new revenue rate,
right.
tax
Well,
rate be
that's not
increased,
exactly what
even though that's not what is
That's
happening.
not,
That's what it says.
so truth in taxation is not truth in taxation.
No, it's confusion
It's
by
confusion.
taxation.
So
Yeah.
actually, we are lowering the overall tax rate.
Absolutely.
Even though it says we're not.
It's because
We
we're
are raising more
it-
revenue.
We are raising it over the no new
New revenue.
revenue rate,
Right.
even though it is a reduction from last year's
Correct.
tax
And I
rate.
understand that, but that's confusing when you read a sentence that says we're raising the rate, when in fact we are not raising the rate.
All 3 of these points are, they're designed to make sure that the public
Public
knows.
understands.
But I do think that the way that the language is causes more confusion
Yeah.
than it illuminates. Essentially, the rate is decreasing from .5604 last year to .5424. Because of the increased
Right.
tax values, the revenue that's being raised from that is increased.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
And I'll second.
Confusion in taxation.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
saw, well, I'll let you finish.
So we've got and actually, Commissioner Watts, do you mind reading the language as it is in that
All
first
3
bullet?
of them?
No, just that first bullet point.
Oh, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .542420, which is effectively a 5.79% increase in the tax rate.
Okay, thank you.
And second.
And second. All right, the motion is before us. Does anyone have any comment or question on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
I did see some budgets where they did the calculation on lowering the rate by percentage. So if you took .54 and knowing ours was .56, calculate that percentage, which means 0 to anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes 0 sense, but I did see that calculation performed in some other budgets.
well, it's funny because that third point on, it raises taxes on a $100,000 home. That's only true if you also assume you're increasing the value of the home.
Yeah,
So it's no longer on a $100,000 home. I think we all understand what the spirit is behind the language, which is why we calculate it that way, and that's what it says to do in statute, but it is confusing.
It could be,
Yes.
but not necessarily.
Yes.
Right, it doesn't take into consideration any homestead
Yeah.
exemptions or anything else.
Right.
And it's an average number too.
It is.
And what also makes it difficult is I'm like a lot of people, when I get my tax bill, I'm looking at the bottom line,
Yep.
which includes city, county, and schools, so don't be confused, this is just one part of it.
Well, and to further muddy the waters, Commissioner Watts brought up, he was looking at the language for City of Tyler budget and City of Wichita Falls budget, and their statutory language is different from the counties.
Really?
That they have to put in here.
Municipalities have a little bit
Yeah,
different.
so it just, it's full of
Is what it
confusion.
is.
I would like to just take this opportunity to thank everyone for their work on this, and I've said it many times, I'll say it one more time, the auditor's office, thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all worked good with the
Good job.
judge and
Yeah, Judge, thank you, this was your first go-around, and I thought you handled it very well, I thought it was a smooth transition, and we changed some things, I think, that are gonna work for us down the road, and you did a great job, thank you.
Well, thank you. I am glad this day is here and all that is done.
Just think, a couple months, you started all over.
That's
again.
right.
Stop that double relinquish.
All right. Thank you all. Moving on to item number 10. Discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve options on M&F Liticans Wichita County Annex 2022 renovations. Proposal request number 12. Number 1 is a proposal to remove the existing LVT in entry 100A, install 7-inch by 48-inch Shaw contract, Abide-4107B, number 07515, cadmium oak and herringbone pattern inside a 28-inch ashlar perimeter layout, which would add $3,500. Item number 2, proposal to remove existing carpet flooring and rubber base in the public defender's offices, install new owner-provided carpet tiles and 6-inch gray rubber base. RFCI abatement is required due to asbestos tile under existing flooring. That would add $21,410. And then item number 3 is remove existing carpet and base from existing public defender's office, install new carpet tiles and 6-inch gray rubber base, contractor provided. RFCI abatement is required due to asbestos tile under existing flooring. That would add $11,420. So I just read a bunch of things. Commissioner
Yeah.
Beecham, do you want to explain?
Yeah, let's start with number 1. I've got a revised figure on that to $1,350 instead of the $3,500.
how much?
1350, 0.00? Like 13.
$1,350, no, 13,000.
Yeah.
1350. In the entryway, the main entrance into the annex, some of the tile has moved, it's lifted, they're covering that under warranty. So they're gonna pull and replace all of that. We could pay nothing. I asked what the cost would be to do the same pattern that we're doing in the tax office, both sides of the tax office, and kind of make it match. So the additional cost is to put it back down in a more aesthetically pleasing pattern. We could choose to do that, or we could choose not to. That's purely aesthetics.
Which one
That's-
is that, Mark?
That's number 1.
That's number 1, no, that matches the tax office.
Yeah,
All right.
so just, I'll say flat out, that's an aesthetic choice that we can or cannot make.
But it went from 3,500 to 13,050.
No, 1,300.
Yeah.
$1,300.
$1,300.
Makes a big difference.
$1,350 just to improve that entryway.
Well, I like it a lot more.
Yeah, so, the other 2, we have carpet in stock for most of it. Item number 3 is to actually add more carpet that we do not have and get the entire, main area of the public defender's office carpet replaced.
The cheaper option is that?
No, they're all three,
They're all separate items.
they're all separate items.
Oh, okay.
No, item two is
I got
do the
you.
abatement and to put down the carpet that we already have.
Okay.
Mark, what portion of 2 and 3 are abatement? Do you
The
know?
the majority of it.
Yeah. Are we ever gonna be out of asbestos?
No. As long as we keep
One of
working on the
these days,
building,
great.
we're gonna
Yeah.
keep dealing with it.
At some point, we've gotta run out of that stuff.
So the entire ad is 34,180 if
Sure.
we choose to do all three.
Along those lines, let me ask another question. The proposal 1, the asbestos is still there, we're covering it up, basically, right?
No.
It's already been done.
No, that's if we put down the carpet that we already have until we run out of carpet in stock.
He's on
No,
one.
no,
He's
no,
on
no.
one. That's just.
That's already abated.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
already
that's
abated.
prob-
That's
That's
LV
probably a major difference in the price.
That's LVT
Yeah.
tile in the entryway. Again, we have some tile that's failing in the entryway.
Okay.
It was not put down properly. They're covering all of that. If we just put it down just exactly like it is, we can go on and not experience any cost on that.
Okay, so,
However, I asked what it would cost to match what we're doing now in the scheme with the tax office.
Just a different pattern.
Yeah, and I'd say we should move forward with that.
So that's an aesthetic choice. That's,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
and item 2 is the installation of the tiles or carpet that we already have. Item 3 is to take care of the rest that we don't have.
take care of what we
Okay.
do not have. So both 2 and 3 include the necessary abatement, which most everything in there has to be abated.
Is that abatement, Mark, required on that flooring up there in second and third floor in the annex? Has that tile got asbestos in it?
Yeah, we're abating everything right now in the hallways.
So we're gonna have a bunch of that building cleaned up, aren't
A
We
lot
should
of,
have all the flooring, well, except in a few of the offices.
what we
Pretty
hadn't
much
worked on,
everything's
right.
been abated.
be smaller stuff.
Until we find out in 40 years what carcinogen we're using and stuff now, and then we're abating that.
Yeah.
But the majority of these costs are
Abatement.
abatement.
You're right, but we don't wanna think about it, you know. Well, when we did this, we didn't know asbestos
And-
was the greatest thing around, fireproof.
And then these costs without, can we lay that carpeting without the abatement?
No.
Why? We've done something over the top of it now.
Depends on how it tears it up. Depends
Well,
on how it
that's-
is that they're pulling it up.
If you disturb
If
it,
they're glued over it now and you start pulling it up, it'll start
It'll
breaking
start
it apart.
breaking
You
it
have to
apart.
you disturb it.
And that's what Briggles has already went and pulled up some of the carpet and the tile's coming up with it, so.
And it's usually a one time, you can usually lay over one time, but if you have to peel it again, you're done, you're gonna abate.
Well, be cheaper now than it will be the next go round.
That's right.
It's kinda like the question, of when's the best time to build a jail, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have a?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, we accept all three.
Is that a second?
I'll second.
All right.
You can second whatever. Okay.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, is to approve options 1 with a change in price of $1,350, 2 and 3. Do we have any questions or comment on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 11, receive update on courthouse renovation, elevator projects, and county courthouse annex. Commissioner Beecham?
Lots going on. Elevators, I think we've got a conference call set up this week. I don't know who all has responded back, as far as affirmative to be on the conference call.
No, I've seen 7 or 8 yeses, so.
Good. We were told last week that the annex elevator will not be operational until November.
Of 24.
25?
I don't know what year, so in the year 25.
The board is going to be able to shift in November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so thus we're having a conference. Plus we were told that all they liked was a tape in the elevator here, but we haven't seen any sign of them. So thus we're having a conference call this week to see if we can't get anything moving. Courthouse building, concentrating on the fifth floor to get that open so we can run jury selection on that fifth floor multi-purpose room. Also, good news is the carpet for temporary courtroom is here.
Oh, good.
Trying to schedule carpet layers
I was
this
worried you
week.
had that the bad news is.
No, right now there's no bad news,
Yeah.
so that's,
Now you jinxed it.
the furniture's scheduled to be here by at the end of this week. So maybe a couple of days set up next week. And I still like hard surface, but the solid surface material is in town. And I just got to get the cabinet maker to put it in.
So we'll be able to assemble juries after we get that?
No, it's two different things. Assembled juries up on the fifth floor should be
Oh, okay.
open about the first week in October.
Okay.
And temporary courtroom potentially has the ability to open next week if everything goes right this week.
And elections?
Elections, they're still working on it. They did some sheetrock work, put in the new door and window last week. We got to retie the ceiling grid back together, build a fur down, paint, and finish the hit and miss carpet job that they've done so far.
Did any update on the elevator over there?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
On the part that was delayed?
November.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
November.
that's what we're having.
That's why we're having the phone
Oh,
call.
that hadn't happened yet. I was
Yeah.
thinking it was
No.
last week, okay.
No, we're gonna see if we can't find out what's going on with that. Other than that, the new penthouse on this building was roofed last week, so we didn't leak today, which was good.
Good.
I've been asked by a couple of people, why is the courthouse building a penthouse? Can you explain what that actually is?
That's the apartment for the commissioners to go and.
Easy now, easy.
Of course, that's what everybody would think, but no, it's, the penthouse is an easy way to say that's the roof access hatch. It's just, instead of just a hatch, what we used to have, you can actually walk up through a walkout door onto the roof. So, just a building on top of the stairwell is all it is.
Law library looks like it's nearly ready to open up.
Yeah, they've moved books all week last week, and I don't know, I guess Sherry's waiting on her computer to be moved, and I think that's about it.
Just a note, NRCS and FSA have left the building.
Okay.
And the
Wow.
annex in Iowa Park, they're in their new headquarters out on the service road. If you're looking for them, they're right next to the clinic. They're on the service road in Iowa Park. They will probably have some furniture in there for about another week. They've donated some of that furniture to nonprofits and they'll be picking it up. But I told them we weren't in any jam, so we can move forward with some of our planning over the next few weeks and months to move
Yeah.
forward on that. So
Awesome.
Okay.
We got a schematic for that, so. That's all I have that I can remember right now.
Okay. Do we have any questions or comments on this items? All right. It is 10:40.